welcome to another episode of Building a Leadership Mindset podcast. I'm your host, Nikki C., all the way from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Super excited to have a very special guest with us today. Before we get into introducing her, just want to send a shout out to our sponsors. That is Jose Escobar with the Connected Leaders Academy, Patrick Rude with the Dirty Little Secret Society, as well as Julian Noah with Breathe Capital Planning. Thank you so much for your support. You can also go onto our website and learn what they're doing and everything that Bomb Global is doing at www.buildingaleadershipmindset.com. Welcome today to another episode that is just be absolutely phenomenal. I've only known this beautiful soul through a referral, Daniela Roman. Thank you so much for connecting me with her. She's absolutely phenomenal, and we're going to get right into it. Let me get her bio up here. And she is none other than Gabriela Argoti-Fernandez, and she is a seasoned commercial banker at DC Green Bank with over 12 years of experience in portfolio management and banking services. Originally from Ecuador, Gaby has made significant strides in her professional journey as a first generation professional. She is the CEO of FlanCake by Gaby, a dessert business she founded, which also offers a 5 to 10 week ESL program to support the local community. Since 2017, Gaby has been a dedicated commissioner of the Maryland's Governor's Commission of Hispanic Affairs, where she currently serves as vice chair. She is also the founder of FlanCake Foundation, furthering her commitment to community service and education. Gaby's educational background includes studies in business administration at the universities of Shady Grove and International Business of Montgomery County. She recently completed a global business certificate program at Harvard Business School and plans to continue her education to better serve her community. Gaby's dedication, professionalism, and bilingual skills have been key to her success, and she remains committed to using her expertise to give back and support the community in the DMV area. Without further ado, I had the pleasure of meeting her at the CLA Global Summit about 2 weeks ago, and here she is coming to you live from. How are you?
Doing good. Thank you so much, Nikki, for having me. I'm super excited to be part of this and to be part of your amazing platform. Thank you for that wonderful introduction to you. That was amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for, again, responding to the referral. Daniela Roman connected us in Messenger, which is the greatest way to connect two people that are doing amazing things and really seeing what magic could happen, right? You just never know, but I'm always open to growing those relationships and those opportunities and with community leaders that are doing amazing things. And I'm just so glad she did. And now you're here. You're part of the Bomb Global Podcast family, bringing you and your story here. So before we get off into where you are today and what you're doing and how you're serving your community so well, let's talk about where it all started. Tell us a little bit about your background and your upbringing, and then we'll go into some further questions.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Gaby. I am originally from Ecuador. I came to the States about the age of 9. We transitioned over. So coming from a Latino Ecuadorian background to the States was a really tough transition. I am the oldest of 3, and taking on that kind of that leadership and that older sister role really played a huge role in my life. So coming to the States with my parents, my amazing, wonderful parents, was really a trying time. But transition here, and we'll get into that a little bit later, but came here, went to school here, graduated here. And like you mentioned it, I've been in the banking industry for some time. With that and with my professional aspirations, I've always wanted to also continue with helping the community, leading the community, and just being part of the community as a whole, because I've been through a lot of the struggles as a Latina, seeing my parents go through a lot of transitions. So again, being a banker, being part of the community in different capacities as a commissioner for the state of Maryland has really helped me in embodying that role. And I'm also a mother of three beautiful children, along with my amazing and supportive husband. And I currently reside out of Rockville, Maryland. That is home. That is kind of where I grew up and kind of where my journey begins and still is on and doing wonderful things here. That's and just a little bit about me. And I will add a little fun fact that I always tell towards the end of it. I am a brain tumor survivor, so that is a huge part of why I do everything that I do and why I feel like everything it's a second chance at life for me. So whenever I do things, I do it with much passion and love. So that journey itself too is something that we'll get into later because it is a really touching part of my life.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us a little bit about that transition and how it looked like coming into a new country, a new state, a new city,
Sure.
neighborhoods, friends, people. Was Spanish your dominant language at the time?
It
Your
was,
primary?
it was, it was, it was my primary language. It's my language of origin, and coming here to the States was a really tough transition. I mean, just being a elementary school student, not knowing the language, dealing with a lot of bullying, I would say, with a lot of just difficulties around that time was extremely hard. Not only that, but just having my parents also understand that part of it was tough. Here I was dealing with it myself, but also trying to have my parents understand and cope with it was tough because they were trying to get settled in and figure out, well, how are we going to improve our lives here? So it was a really tough time, but I will say that with much love and faith amongst family, we worked through those struggles. And it wasn't easy going to school. It wasn't easy trying to communicate in a different language. And that resonates with me to this point now because it I didn't really have anyone to lean on. I didn't have the resources, or I wasn't offered the resources to improve my language. So I feel like I dealt with that firsthand. Like I dealt with it heavy on so many different levels. And, I didn't have the resources. I didn't have people kind of guiding me through the process. My parents didn't either. So we were really kind of on on our own, trying to decipher this new world and trying to make the best of it. And, one day at a time, really with lots of faith and lots of love, I think uh, we grew stronger. It definitely brought in a lot of unity as a family, and it just we held on to each other during those trying times. And I'm the oldest of three, so I also played a very strong role in this whole thing. My younger sister, too, being a baby at the time, starting kindergarten, she really was kind of just thrown into the mix, right? So it's like, um, here I am, older sister, first daughter, trying to somewhat guide my parents, somewhat guide my sister. So it was a very tough transition, a very tough transition, but definitely keeping my spirits up during that time and just watching my parents hustle so hard and work through those struggles motivated me. It motivated me to learn the language, to go to school, despite all the bullying, despite all the different things that happened during that time, so that I could be who I am today. So all in all, I
Oh,
think that was kind of the you know the transitioning part of it. Being young, transitioning to elementary school with a family was very tough on it just but all and it just to say the least. But it's I look back at it now, and it's lessons that I take in and lessons that I see, and it just helps me have uh, that kindness and love for those going through it now, because there's a huge community out there that are currently dealing with that. So it
yeah.
just makes me very uh, cognizant and very understanding of those situations.
Powerful, powerful. At what age did you feel like this was going to be part of your life's work?
Oh, that's a really great question. I would say when I was in high school. When I was in high school, I always had that in me that helping others and just helping simple things as translating is something that I really felt compelled to do, that I really felt like it was necessary to do to help others. To help in a language barrier, to help assist others in that capacity. I feel like I learned that early on in high school, that like, I should be there for others as well, because I know how it felt. I know how tough it was for my family, for my parents, for my sisters. So I think around that time is when it dawned on me, like, this is something that I can definitely do. And now I'm in a position to turn that back around and be that helping hand.
What a beautiful story. Sometimes, again, we don't realize that our life experiences are really things that we go through to kind of give us an idea of what is it that we really can do to make the difference. Sometimes we have to go through those struggles, unfortunately, those sad situations. And, you know, everybody just wants to have peace in life, right? We want to live the American dream. We come here, we want to work hard, we want to leave a legacy. And sometimes there's challenges that are put through our lives that really can take us on a journey where we just become the victim versus saying, well, how can I be the change in this area? And you did that. And I just want to applaud you for doing that, because, and I'm sure a lot of people fall into their purpose. And again, it just goes back to the experiences. And I kind of really tell the communities that I serve is that you don't have to have a piece of paper to justify that you can be a subject matter expert in certain areas. Yes, there's certain certifications, certain, schooling that you absolutely have to take in order to be a specialist in something, but you can start at entry level. You can still start adding value with just your experience. So for you, did you feel like I can do this now and then work towards getting like certified and stuff like that? Because I know for every child that has parents that have the language barrier, we were the translators, in our team.
I was gonna say
we were translating at the doctor's office, at the bank. And sometimes we didn't even know half of the things that were going on. So tell us
it's so funny you say that. Yeah. I felt like I got my training then, my certification then. No. I didn't quite feel that way. Like I needed to get certified, like I needed to do it to start. And maybe it's just something that because I saw such a need for it, that I went ahead and I, always offered that help. As small as it was or as big as it was, I tried to fill in that gap in different capacities. And now with my professional career working for DC Green Bank, I hold a position where I am the only Spanish speaker in the executive lineup. And it's really amazing that even then with that, with me being there, I can still support the people there with translations or with just any language barrier, and also help some folks here in my community that I'm teaching classes to that just, came to this country 6 months ago. So learning early on that I could do it at no matter what level I was on really made me and kind of molded me to just understand that I don't really need a certification to do it. It's just that kindness that's instilled in me didn't really make me believe, okay, I can't do this until I get certified. I think that's a mindset that a lot of folks have, that they, feel like they need that label, that title to do certain things like that. And you really don't. You really don't. And to kind of talk a little bit about what I do now with my literacy program that I started through my business, I also created an entity within that, which is called FlanCake Foundation, which really wraps around teaching classes, teaching English, and embodying a lot of individuals that are struggling with the language. And through that program that I created, I've seen a lot of that, individuals that are just arrived to the country. And I've also seen individuals that have been here for a long time and still struggle with language. So in all capacities, filling in that gap and just helping without having that certification is okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much for clarifying that. We're going to take a quick break, but we're going to talk about FlanCake in just a second, how that came about. We are here with Gaby. Let's go to a quick break and listen to one of our sponsors.
Hi, my name is Jose Escobar, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Connected Leaders Academy. We're a growing tribe, a community of entrepreneurs all over the world, globally, all across the country, high performers, titans of industry. If you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to grow personally and professionally, scale your influence, develop your skill sets, move the needle in your business, more clients, more money, more profit, the bottom line, and of course, grow your circle and your network like never before, this is where you want to be. Join the Connected Leaders Academy today. We are scaling massively. We want to welcome you in. Check me out on Instagram and on Facebook, the @ JASCO25. We look forward to having you join us. Take care.
We are also celebrating our 1 year anniversary of the official business launch from Global today. So you have made it here, and I'm super
That
excited.
is amazing. What a special day to be on here. Honestly, what a special day. What a special day. Congratulations to all that you are doing. I applaud you. And, as a woman, as someone that, is an entrepreneur as well, it is just an amazing thing to see. So more power to you. And I know it's going to continue to be bigger and stronger. And again, I applaud you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been an absolute blessing to just come full circle 2 years in. It's just absolutely amazing. But this is about you, Gaby. And tell us about your famous flan cake. Where did it all start? What was, just tell me all about it.
Sure. So, FlanCake by Gaby embodies so many different things. One of the main components, I would say, it's family. We started with a flan cake, one flan cake at home, and we put it together. And we said, maybe we can share it with our family members. And sure enough, we got positive feedback. My husband's like, you definitely need to put it out there a little more. Let's see, what happens with this because it's delicious. So we did. We got amazing response from my community, and we began serving and experimenting with different flavors. Now we have over 12 flavors, from Nutella to the Oreo to cookies and cream, but it's all flan cake. It's all flan cake. And the reason for the flan, it resonates with me deeply, as flan is a Latino dessert. And for me, that represents a lot. It's not just a dessert. It represents my culture. It represents my background. It represents where I come from. And that is the reason for flan. Not to mention that it is delicious, but we also added a twist to it. We also added a layer of cake under it. That is the reason for the flan cake. And that has been very unique, and that has been a very acquired taste in the community. So I think that's why we are still here, and we're still sharing it with all of you that support and love on us. And when I created the FlanCake itself, the component to have my family in it was also very important. It's my sisters and my mother that together with me have supported this cause. And when we created FlanCake by Gaby, it was more than just serving the desserts. It was more than just making sure that we make our sales. It was also to segue into the community, um, to also offer our support. We've partnered up with different organizations. We've done a lot of volunteer work in our area, anywhere from schools to supporting our local street vendors. It has been just quite a journey to see this flourish into something that I never thought or imagined that it would be so big, because as you know, my background is banking. I've been in banking. That's been my professional career, which I love very much. I enjoy my career, but when we put together FlanCake by Gaby, it just touched me in a very special way, because again, it embodies my culture, my family, but also my community. So that is how FlanCake by Gaby came about. And again, we're always looking for ways to connect and to partner with organizations and just be supporting a supporting business as a whole. And we are women, Latino women owned, so that makes it even more special. I find myself, connecting with younger women, younger leaders in my community, and they kind of see what we do, see our work, and they want to learn more about it. And that is also the purpose, to lead by example and to continue leading and holding on the hands of the younger generation that's coming after us, because that's what this is all about. FlanCake by Gaby, just being that example and setting the tone for the ones coming after us. And through that, I mentioned finding my segue to the community. FlanCakes have done just that. Wherever FlanCake is served, it's always talked about, and it's a conversation starter. But I've also managed to connect with the community and offer my resources, such as the FlanCake Foundation ESOL classes. And that really has been very special, and it has added just a special layer to the mix, because not many bakeries are doing things like that. Not many bakeries in my area are, holding on to the community to that extent. So that is what we are doing. And again, we, more than the FlanCakes itself, it's also just seeing the community and, being present for the community and saying, hey, we are a business, we operate with delicious desserts, but we also can be a helping hand.
Absolutely. What a beautiful way to really just merge all that love and just a passion, right? Something that you just made one day and everybody loved and they tasted it and they felt good. So if you knew that impact just by your family and you said, wait, there's more here, and your husband was able to identify it and said, honey, I think you should go a little bit further with this, and then take it out to the community. And it really is not just a conversation starter, but it's a way to connect. It's something that us Latinos can relate to, right? And when it's touched to such a mission that you have, it just makes it even 10 times better. So I just want to thank you for that. As a matter of fact, let me get your website up here so that people can connect with you. Where is it? We're going to put it down at the bottom. So you said something earlier that was a second chance in life that you got. And sometimes to be 100% transparent, because this is the hot call, right? It's the honest, open, transparent call. And sometimes at our first chances, we don't get it right. But when we're given a second chance, tell us a little bit about your story and how you felt that this is a second chance, and what are you doing with your second chance?
Sure. So in 2007, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and I want to talk about a little into detail as to what happened and how this was discovered. So I, no one in my family has any history of brain tumors. And 2 weeks before my diagnosis, I started developing headaches, developing a lot of discomfort. Being a young adult, I didn't really think much of it. My mother kind of said, maybe it'll pass. It should be okay. Unfortunately, it didn't. Unfortunately, it got so bad that I couldn't even stand to one point. And To make matters worse, it was Christmas Eve when I started developing those severe symptoms. So Christmas Day, my mother's like, no, we need to definitely take her into the ER. So my parents took me, was in the ER. They did a lot of tests and a lot of blood work, nothing. Finally, I was like, look, these headaches are just intolerable. I wanted to bang my head against the wall, and they did a quick x-ray, and sure enough, there was a mass in the cerebellum, which is the center of the brain. And they basically told my mother on the spot, if we don't operate today, she's not going to make it. So because there was just so much pressure from the tumor. So and you're gonna have to excuse me if I do get emotional a little bit here, but it's very tough because even then, when the doctor was telling us that, my mom's like, wait, what did he say? So even amidst already receiving the news, I kind of had to translate then. And that for me hit me deep. And I said, okay, no, we're going to get through this. So sure enough, we went through the transition of the operation to basically save my life. And when that operation was done, because it was so sudden and it was just so on the spot without even processing everything that was going on, there was a lot of the tumor still left. They could not take it all out. So when I woke up from that first surgery, I was not able to walk. I was not able to speak. So a lot of my motor skills were not there. And that's when I was moved to Johns Hopkins Hospital, which big shout out to Johns Hopkins Hospital. They saved my life, and they pieced me back together is what I tell everyone. And there I had multiple brain surgeries to essentially, save my motor skills and kind of put my motor skills back into place. I did rehab, I did speech therapy over the span of 4 years. That was kind of my life. That was my life. So when all that happened and I was going through each and every rehab, each and every speech therapy, each and every just follow up with my neurologist, I realized that, whatever I do after this, it's going to serve a purpose. And to share my story, to share what I went through, being a Latina, being a woman of color, being a brain tumor survivor, all that, I said, I'm going to turn it into something meaningful. If I have a second chance at life, I'm here to serve that purpose. And I do so now in capacities such as FlanCake by Gaby, also my professional career. And I'm also writing a book to share my story because I feel like it's important to share that aspect of my life so that other women going through it, other individuals going through it in general, will see just that if I can do it, you can too. And I'm going to share my story very deeply within that book. Again, from the language barriers to the medical issues, and it resonates and it means a lot to me to do that because I didn't have that. Because I didn't have that going through the process. There was nobody that was with me saying, "Hey, Gaby, I went through it. That you'll make it and you'll be okay." And this is kind of what happens. I was really blind going through the process, and I think that was difficult to say the least, for my family and for me. So that is my goal with my story, with sharing it and being a light of hope to others, and showing others that my scars are signs of hope. So that is what I aspire and hope to do very soon. Hopefully by the end of the summer of this year, you're going to see that book published.
Oh my goodness, I cannot wait. I think if you wouldn't say I might get emotional, I probably would have gotten emotional. So I was trying to be strong for you. But that story is just, it is, I'm just speechless, right? Speechless to the point where this was a huge diagnosis to receive. And when we go into the brain, the percentages are like 50-50. What were the percentages? Did you ask for percentages on these type of surgeries?
No. For that first one, everything just happened so fast that there was there was not a space for me to really even ask those questions. Following that, during my other surgeries with my neurologist, then it was more of a, there was more light. There was more light at the end of the tunnel, and the percentages were definitely higher. But that initial one that really marked me and pivoted my life and my recovery process, there was not much that I could ask. At that point, it was kind of like save her life or not.
Yes.
So
Yeah. So tell me, how was faith at this time? How was the hope? Like, what was going through your mind each and every appointment, besides the fact of saying that you claiming that you were going to do the work that you're doing today, which I absolutely love. But what are some other things? Were there questions, like why me? Like, what was that mindset? So let's take us a
absolutely,
little bit about that.
absolutely. I think at the beginning of my process, it was that, the questions and just a lot of thoughts that, um, why me? Why my family? We've already been through a lot. I'm already an immigrant. I'm already, in a new world. So why this? Um, and going through that, I also found myself saying, or felt what I say now is faith in God in my heart that really pulled me through those questions and said, no, 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 we're not going to immerse ourselves in those negative questions. Um, and of course, my mother holding my hand and pushing me through. And again, my book's going to kind of go into detail about that. But my mother was, I say, she was the angel that really helped my transition and helped pull me from those thoughts. And there's people in your life and there's individuals in your life that um, really can help you. And mind you, she was still working through my process. She
Mm.
was working during the day and sat in the hospital with me every night. So for me to see that as I'm going through my own battles, I felt uh, compelled, and I felt like it was only right for me to switch that mentality, to grasp onto her hand, to grasp onto God, to grasp onto faith, and get pulled out from that. And so I did. And so I did. So whenever I share my story, I always say the love and the faith behind it all. Um, is what really, really did it for me. Outside of the neurologist and the doctors, it was that. Because if I didn't have that, uh, my mental and everything else wouldn't have worked out.
Wow. So whew, just have to take, because I know my mom is my biggest angel. Just everything through I go through. I was just at an appointment with her today, just going. So I know how that type of bond can keep you above water and not drown in, what's the current situation. That's the hope that we get with
Mm,
that bond. So I just want to send shout outs to your mom for
thank
just being
you.
that angel for you. So congratulations. Um,
Thank you.
God definitely kept a great one that is doing amazing things. So I just want to give you again the floor and tell us, what are you doing? How can people get a hold of you? What is your mission? Clearly just share what your mission is and how you want to continue to support not just your community, but communities around the world with what you have going on.
Sure, sure. So, no, thank you for just your kind words and for allowing me the platform to share the story. And I will say that, the mission goes on, the mission continues. And through FlanCake by Gaby, through my FlanCake Foundation, I also want to keep the work alive. And I just want to let everyone know out there that if there's anything that I can do in my capacity, my level, either with my flan cakes, with serving the community that you live in, or with my English classes, the literacy program that we have. I encourage you to just reach out to me. I am on Facebook, Instagram, and via email, my website. There's a way to contact me as well. You can look me up under Gaby Argoti-Fernandez. And if there's anything that I can do in either level, I'll be more than happy to do. But the mission and the goal is to continue serving those communities that are underserved. That is my mission, to serve the underserved. And I hope that I can continue to do that, not just here, but in different states and also in my home country in Ecuador.
Yes, absolutely beautiful, beautiful. And One thing, I won't spill the beans, but you implanted an idea in my head when we first had our first conversation, and with the events that we have going on and what we want to do in the future around the world. And I'm going to leave it right in God's hand. He's going to position us to be able to deliver something special in these spaces. And I am super excited to see what comes out of that and what partnership we can bring that to the world, because it's absolutely needed in this space. Like I said, we're here on earth. We were given a purpose. And we go through these things, the ups, the downs, the goods, the bads, the ugly. But it's what we do with it and how we finish, not how we started. And we are not our past. It all depends on how we react to it and what we can create from it. And you, my friend, have done an amazing job taking your second chance to above and beyond. And I'm sure that those that you serve are extremely grateful, and there's more for you to reach, my friends. So I just want to say thank you so much for, again, bringing your story. Connect with her, Facebook, LinkedIn, go to www.flancakebygabby.com, learn what her mission is, definitely connect with her. I'm just super excited about what's next for both of us in our chapters, and I can't wait to read your book as well. Do we at least have a title?
Yep, Surviving and Defying the Odds, Living the American Dream. So when you check me out on Facebook, Instagram, you'll see the cover on there. And thank you once again just for your support. I am excited to continue our relationship, continue the relationship in both communities. And again, whatever aspect I can serve and support, I'm here for it.
Wow. Thank you so much. I am all for it as well. But I just want to pinpoint just something really quick. You said in your subtitle is Living the American Dream. And how crazy is that I mentioned that like a few minutes before and didn't even know that was part of your title. So amazing.
It is.
Can't wait for that. Thank you so much. I'll just give you another final minute just to pour into our audience that are maybe feeling stuck, maybe have not taken on that new leadership role in their life, and what they can do to just take action.
Absolutely. I will say that for me personally, and I encourage everyone around to also look into a mentor or someone in their circle that they can connect with. Sometimes it's okay to ask for help. Sometimes it's okay to find that shoulder to lean on. And in whatever stage in your life you're going through, whether you are a professional, whether you are a double master in something, or whether you are a young girl in high school, whatever capacity you're at, you're always going to need a helping hand, any support system. And whether that's your friend, your family, a mentor, a counselor, reach out. And I also open my doors. I have an open door policy with my FlanCake Foundation. If you are ever in need of anything, if you ever need help, if you ever are feeling different, please reach out to me. I, again, have an open door policy, and I am always willing and able to help. So thank you once again.
You are welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Gaby. You have a great and wonderful day. To all our listeners, thank you so much for Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Building a Leadership Mindset. Have a great day. And as I always say, make it
Gracias.
count.
Gracias a todo. Yes. Hasta la próxima.
That's right. Bye.